everyone. I am Nirathanka, legal and management consultant from Bangalore. This is the next series of talk. I am going to talk to you on how to enhance the professional competency for HR. As I said already in last session, we play a great role, HR plays a great role, and we are a middle person between the business and the employees. That's our role. Last session, I talked to you on the enhancement of competency, on self-development itself. I briefed you on the important thing of self-development because I gave the pattern of emotional intelligence, which is absolutely necessary for every HR. If you are strong in emotionality in terms of everything, your personality goes up like anything, and you assume the role of leadership, which is essential for the HR all times. Now, in today's session, I'm going to talk to you on the next step of competency. Next step, competency. Now, I'm going to talk to you on the competency, what is required for HR. As I said already, we are a middle person between business and employees. Employees will talk later. Now, if you say business, we need to develop the competency in business. One may ask, what do we know about business? Why should we? People are there, marketing is there, everybody is there. What should we talk about? Now, today, the days have gone. We have to be competent in each and every aspect of it. How far we know the business, where we are working? How far we know? Please, we have to know the business in depth. That's number one. How far our business has been there for the last couple of years, how it is fluctuating, and what is the forecast. This is very important. Now, when we talk about business, it has got different segments. Segments are marketing is one segment. Second thing is the finance is one thing, and quality control and industrial engineering another segment, and the production areas, those are the segments. So we have got different disciplines in the entire organization as far as business is concerned. Now let us pick up the finance as one of the disciplines of the business. Finance. We must know thoroughly of the finance in the sense that we should know how to read a balance and analyze. We should develop that competency because it has got multiple benefits if you are thorough with the entire thing. Number one, I can tell you, if you understand, read the business, read the balance sheet of a company, of your company, you will know different aspects of it. How far the profit is there for the last 3 years, how the profit or loss is being fluctuated, and what is the reason for the profit or loss. This is one important thing you can know. And one other thing is that the cost of manufacture, the cost of manufacture. We must know thoroughly the different components of cost of manufacture. That's very important. There's one aspect, I will come to the other aspect of it later. That is the example of cost of manufacture. The cost of manufacture, we must know extremely very well because, as we know, the cost of manufacture goes up every year, year on year, due to various reasons like inflation, rise in cost of materials, etc., in addition to employee cost. If you analyze your own company for the last 3 years, definitely we know that we will come to know that cost of production is going up, whereas the productivity level remains same. Now, is it not an anxiety for HR to attack this issue? We can't say that it is a job of production or job of finance. We can't say that because it's our job. Because we have to find ways and means to neutralize the cost of increase. That's very important. From that point of view, we must know very, very clearly, because ultimately you have to go on and talk to various people, and you have to make a lot of methods and changes, etc., in the manufacturing setup. So so they see that the cost comes down. So from this point of view, you must know thoroughly about the cost. How the costings are done, you must know thoroughly, very clearly. It can be process costing, it can be end product costing. So this we must know exactly, very, very clearly. Very important. Okay, I just came back, I'll go back to marketing. Marketing, one must be able to thorough with the existing level of marketing, in the sense the marketability for your products, how it is in the market. That's very important. You have to learn market intelligence in this respect, in the sense that last 3 years, what are the fluctuations and what are the forecasts? Are you a component manufacturer or are you an end product manufacturer? Because everything makes a lot of difference. Obviously, the cost of production definitely goes up, and this is very important for us to know. Supposing you anticipate some kind of radical changes in the technologies in the coming years, like that you are expecting digitalization, you are expecting artificial intelligence, definitely what happens? The whole thing affects. So we need to get prepared ourselves in these areas of marketing. Supposing the market says next 3 years, their estimated level of market is low, then proactively we have to think ourselves. If the market is low, then definitely your shop utilization will be low. Then at that time, how do we utilize the people? How do we see that the whole thing is sustained? What are the alternatives available for us? So those are the areas to know. We must be very thorough with the marketing, future marketing, because these are two very, very important aspects. We must be thoroughly competent with this. When it comes down to cost, I told you already, this is the second thing we have to get the competency finance. Number one is the cost of this one. Now let us take the example of a change management. Change management in the sense what, normally what we do, we rationalize the process, improvise the process, changes in methods of manufacture, then automation or rationalization, all these things. Our objective is to reduce the cost of manufacture. That's very important. Now here, if we are thorough and competent enough to understand the costing, why it is done, how it is done, and what way it is going to benefit the company as well as the employees without the losing their job or insecurity feeling. If you are thorough with competence in this one, then I'm sure you will not find it difficult to convince any trade union. It's very easy. It becomes very easy. No, you can't say at the when you sit for meeting with the union, you can't say I will bring the costing person or the finance person and all that. No, we are not doing the post office job. As I said already, we are a middleman between business and people. So we got a lot of responsibility. That's why we have to acquire this competency is extremely, extremely important. Now, another most important why we should know the finance and the marketability is another thing. Let us say, for instance, if trade union presents you a charter of demands, demanding so many people, so many rupees. Then how do you argue and bargain with the workers and negotiate with them? The only relevant area where you can negotiate is the product affordability. To what extent the product can absorb the cost if I increase the wages by so and so, so and so on. So this is extremely important. From this aspect, if you know the importance thing, when the present charter demands, you can work out liability, anticipated liability, and you can propose to the union to say that, okay, my cost of production is going to go up on account of this wage increase. Now, please suggest, or we will both of us discuss and work out the modalities of how to neutralize the increase in cost arising from the benefit of charter demands. Many companies are done it. But this we can do provided we have the competency here. Competency. That's extremely very important. Now in this area, I invite you to invite the attention of the judgment of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has very clearly said that the capacity of the company is the only criteria to grant higher wages to workers. Very criteria, very principal criteria. The financial capacity of the company. The financial capacity of the company, what do you mean by financial capacity? We analyze it, again, as I said already, marketability. These are one of the criteria. The other criteria is your profit and loss, what's happened for last couple of years, and what's your anticipated market and profit and loss, and what is the cost of production. Are you to marginally at the same level? So, please, so this is the criteria that have been dictated by the Supreme Court of India. And the only weapon we have today to bargain with the union is only on the cost affordability. Hence, we need to have the thorough competency in these areas, which is extremely important. Now, again, I said, when it comes to change management, we come to rationalization, change in method, systems, everything. The trade union says no for each and everything. Or even the workers say, let's say, refusal to change is a very common affair. It's very common to any human being. Change means no, that is the kind of thing. Now, in this context, what happens? Here we are here. How do we talk and convince the workers and workmen, the union, on the advantages of change management? If we are thorough with all this process, if we are thorough with the costing process, if we are thorough with everything, then what happens? It becomes easy for us to convince the union the benefit of it. Then you can assure the workers also to say that there won't be any reduction in the salaries on account of change in management. There won't be insecurity fear amongst them. We can do everything. So this is extremely important. And third thing is, friends, what I insist is that we have to have the thorough knowledge of the products itself. That's very important. The steps of manufacture, right from step number 1 to the last step, we must be thoroughly examined, thoroughly competent with this. We must know each process, how it is done, how it is done, what is the system, what is the practice, everything we must know thoroughly. Because why I'm telling you this is this. In the entire process of this, in the view to reduce the cost of manufacture, sometimes we might go for outsourcing or somewhere to rationalize. At that time, the question comes to convincing the people of this. If they're thorough with everything, then it becomes absolutely easy and convenient. So this is extremely important. And I can tell you, when you know the product knowledge, we must also have the knowledge of how the jobs are rated. In the sense, how do you assess the performance of a person in terms of productivity? What is the cycle time fixed? Is it number of components or cycle time? Whatever, please have the competency in it. Because these two areas are the only areas where you can try to reduce the cost of production if you have the competency. Competency in the sense, when you are thorough with the process, it can be easily, you can convince the people. That's very extremely important. Now here, I talk to you on the competencies of finance, business marketability. I talk to you on the competency of finance, competency of industrial engineering, and I have told you on the competency of be thorough with the system of manufacture or process of manufacture. You must be thorough with each and everything. That's extremely important. Because once you have this competency, because you are equipping himself, you are totally involved in the business. As a business owner, as a micro business owner, you know how to do, what not to do, everything. You will be thorough with it. Then you can't just pass on the work to someone else. then we lose our credibility. We lose our leadership qualities. It should not happen. We have to retain our leadership quality in terms of all these things. This is extremely important for all these things. Now, of course, the other competencies required for HR, I'll talk to you later. But today I will end this session with these three competencies, which I really emphasize, totally emphasize that we must be competent and not knowing. We must be competent enough to know in these three core areas. I hope you'll appreciate and understand the necessity, because ultimately I told you we have to become number one in our HR professional leadership in an organization. That's our target, that's our achievement, that's our aim, right? We do that. So thank you for so much. Next session, I will talk to you on the other side.